During Christmas dinner, my brother raised his glass and said, "Here's to our personal bank, too pathetic to have real value beyond his wallet." Everyone clinked glasses. My sister-in-law added, "At least he's useful for something." I'd been paying their mortgage for 2 years, their kids' private school, even their medical bills. So I stood up smiling, opened my banking app, and said, "Merry Christmas. I just canceled every automatic payment." Then I walked out. Now they call every night. "Please, don't abandon us." "You're overreacting, Nate. It was just a joke," my brother Mark snapped, his face red from wine and smugness. "A joke? You raised your glass and called me a bank, Mark. A bank. And you all clinked your glasses like it was a toast worth remembering." My sister-in-law, Rachel, smirked, swirling her drink. "At least you're useful for something. Don't take it so personally." The room hummed with muffled laughter, my parents looking down at their plates, pretending they hadn't heard. The air smelled of pine and roasted ham, but all I could taste was betrayal. My name is Nathaniel Carter, 25 years old, the youngest in this family, though I feel the oldest in responsibility. I don't drink, I don't party, and I've never asked anyone for help. Yet for the last 2 years, every paycheck of mine has gone not toward dreams, but toward their survival. Mortgage payments, private school tuition for their kids, medical bills for mom after dad's insurance ran out. I'd told myself I was holding this family together, but sitting at that table, hearing their laughter, I realized maybe I was the glue they were happy to walk all over. Family members: Mark, 32, my older brother. Charismatic, reckless with money, and entitled enough to treat my sacrifices as his due. Rachel, 30, his wife. Sharp-tongued, quick to humiliate, yet always the first to ask for just one more favor. Dad, 61. Retired factory worker, health failing, pride swallowed years ago. Too quiet when his voice mattered. Mom, 59, gentle, anxious, always trying to keep the peace by asking me to just let it go. "Do you have any idea what I've given up?" I asked, my voice steady though my chest burned. Mark leaned back, smirking as if this whole dinner was entertainment. "Given up? Nate, you're single, no kids, no responsibilities. You're supposed to help family. Isn't that what you preach?" Rachel's fork clinked against her glass. "Exactly. You make more money than all of us combined. It's selfish to hold on to it while we drown." I stared at them, my stomach churning. I wanted Dad to speak. I wanted Mom to say something. But Dad only cleared his throat, and Mom whispered, "Please, Nathaniel, don't ruin Christmas." The roast ham sat untouched on my plate. For the first time in years, I wondered if I had mistaken sacrifice for slavery. My fists clenched under the table. I thought of the nights I skipped meals, saving every dime for their bills. "You think I don't drown?" My voice cracked, raw. "You think it doesn't break me to wake up every morning knowing my work isn't for me? That I'm shackled to everyone's needs but my own?" Mark chuckled cruelly, shaking his head. "Shackled? You're dramatic. You're just jealous I have a family who needs me." Rachel's eyes gleamed, the cruelty almost deliberate. "And we do appreciate it, when you're not whining like this." The laughter that followed wasn't loud. It was worse. It was muffled, restrained, the kind of laughter people share when they know you're powerless. For the first time in my life, I realized maybe I wasn't powerless. Maybe I just hadn't chosen to fight. The smell of antiseptic burned in my memory. 2 years ago, I was in a sterile hospital hallway when the doctor told me, "If we don't operate now, your father won't survive the night." Mark didn't answer his phone. Rachel sent a text, "We're in Vegas, don't blow up my phone." So I signed. I drained my savings account. My dreams of buying a house, gone in an instant. My loan forgiveness funds, erased. That night, I cried in the hospital bathroom. Not because of the money, but because I realized no one even asked what it cost me. And here they were 2 years later, toasting me like I was nothing more than a wallet in human skin. The silence after Rachel's jab was unbearable. I stood, pulling my phone from my pocket. "You know what?" My voice didn't shake. It was too calm. "You're right. I am the family bank." Mark smirked, lifting his glass. Finally, some self-awareness. But here's the thing. I opened my banking app, fingers hovering. Banks close when they're abused. One tap, the tuition payment vanished. Another tap, The mortgage auto-pay canceled. Then the medical bills. Rachel's chair screeched as she stood. "You can't! You'll ruin us!" I looked straight at her, then at Mark, then at my parents. "Merry Christmas. You're on your own now." The room froze. Mom gasped. Dad blinked, his lips parting like he wanted to speak, but decades of silence chained him. And in that silence I felt lighter. Mark slammed his fist on the table so hard the wine glasses rattled. "You ungrateful little—" "Ungrateful?" I cut in, my voice like steel. "For 2 years I've kept you afloat. I gave up everything for you. And in return, you called me pathetic. You laughed." Rachel pointed at me, her voice shrill. "You think you can just walk away? We'll lose the house. The kids—" "The kids," I snapped, "deserve parents who know how to stand on their own 2 feet, not parents who mock the only person keeping them alive." Mom sobbed, clutching her napkin like it was the only thing holding her together. "Nathaniel, please don't do this." For the first time, Dad spoke. His voice was rough, fragile, but it cut through everything. "Son, maybe it's enough. Maybe you've done enough." Mark glared at him, betrayed. Rachel looked like she'd swallowed poison. But Dad's words wrapped around me like armor. I walked out, not in rage, but in liberation. The December air sliced across my face, cold and sharp, but cleaner than the suffocating stench of entitlement inside. As I reached my car, footsteps crunched behind me. Mom, her coat barely wrapped around her trembling frame. "I'm sorry, Nate," she whispered. "I should have defended you. I was scared." Her eyes were swollen, not just from tonight, but from years of quiet surrender. For the first time, I didn't see her as Mom. I saw her as a woman trapped in fear. "I love you, Mom," I said softly, "but I can't keep saving everyone. It's killing me." She nodded, tears streaking her cheeks. "Maybe. It's time we learned to stand on our own." Her words were fragile, but they carried something I hadn't heard in her voice for years. Hope. The weeks that followed were a blur of unanswered calls. Mark begging one night, Rachel threatening the next, Mom pleading in between. I didn't block them, but I didn't answer either. For the first time in years, I opened my paycheck and saw it was mine. All mine. I bought groceries without guilt. I paid rent without resentment. I signed up for night classes, courses I thought I'd never afford again. And one evening, my phone lit up with a call. Just one name. Dad. His voice was raspy, weighed down with years of silence, but there was a crack of light in it. "Nate, I'm proud of you. I should have said that years ago. It wasn't forgiveness for everything. It wasn't closure, but it was a start. I don't know what'll happen to Mark and Rachel. Maybe they'll fall apart. Maybe they'll grow up. Maybe they'll finally learn what sacrifice really means. That's their journey, not mine. As for me, I've learned that family isn't about being used. It's about being seen. And if they can't see me for who I am, I'll build a life where I no longer need their vision. I walked into the new year lighter, not because I had abandoned them, but because, for the first time, I had chosen myself. If this story hit you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And tell me in the comments, if you were Nathaniel, would you have cut your family off the same way? Or would you have kept paying, even after the insults? Your voice matters. And maybe your story can help someone else find their strength too.